this up online. Okay, you guys ready? Where this line crosses the y-axis is the y-intercept. This plane here is made up of a bunch of ordered pairs. Did you ever play, what's that game? With the submarines? Battleship. It's the same thing. You have to say where you are on the x's and where you are on the y's. Except in Battleship, you're only in the first quadrant. That's this part right over here. And you can set those, the 84 calculus to be that way. So what's true about this intercept? What's the x-coordinate at this point right here? There's an x and a y. How far over? Here's the origin. You remember that? How far over on the x's did you go? You didn't. Okay? Guys?
How would you know that the numbers match?
Because the x's measure this distance and the y's measure this distance. So it's x is 0 and the y is, we call it b. You could call it y. It doesn't really matter. Okay, Michael. Now,
Yep.
yeah, I was going to call you Grant. I was right. Okay, here is the formula. There's quick graphing, and maybe we should even go back and take the calculators, when those calculators do really neat things, and look at what these numbers mean. You could always let x be 0. What if x is 0? Then y equals, you guys should know how to substitute, right? It's 3 times x, which is what? 0. You must put it, everything you time you substitute must go into parentheses. Minus 5. Well, what's 3 times 0? Christian? I don't care for the first time, but you can practice. You can do it on your iPad if you want. Eventually, we're going to change over to that, but I know it's going to take a little bit of work. So what's the y equal to? Negative 5. I'd like to see you write this as an ordered pair. A y-intercept is an ordered pair. Okay, Nick? Did you get this open in your remarks? Otherwise, you can do it on paper pencil. So it's 0, comma, negative 5. Now, the next one is in point slope form. And I need to write it like this. That's tricky, but you want the trick to be able to write it like that? To make it really easy? The point that this line goes through isn't a positive 9 and isn't a positive 6. It's the number that would make this 0. Is that okay? What number can you put here for the y to make that 0? Negative 9. What can you put in here to make that 0? Negative 6. Which one goes first, x or y? X. It's alphabetical. So I'll write up x, y, so I remember, because I get things all goofed up too. This answer is negative 6, comma, negative 9. Come on in. Okay. Now, the y-intercept, what's true about the x-coordinate when the y-intercept, if it's a y-intercept, what's the x-coordinate? This point right here. What is that? The x-coordinate is what? Cole, do you know?
What?
The x-coordinate, where the line crosses the y-axis.
The y-intercept.
Yeah, what's the x-coordinate there? If you're on the axes, Nick, either x is 0 or y is 0. If it's the y-intercept, it can't be y0. Well, it could be, but it's rare. So x is 0. So if it's asking for y-intercept, x is 0. If x is 0 and you substitute it in here, y is equal to 8 times 0. What's that answer? 0. X is 0, y is 0. I would really like to see you write that as ordered pairs. Is that okay?
So many times it says y equals.
If it asks for y-intercept, the x is 0.
How do you know if it asks for? Is it just
It says, what is the y-intercept?
Oh, but like, can you tell if it's not saying that? Like, can you say,
Well, this one says, what is the point identified in that line? It's not the y-intercept.
so what would it be if you were like, what is the point identified in the line?
Well, I have a couple ways to do it. There's more than one answer, by the way, but this is really in point slope form. It's y minus something equals negative 1, x minus 7. What's being subtracted from y when I look at that? What's your gut response? What do you see being subtracted from y? Nick? What do you see what's being subtracted from y? Nothing. What's the number that represents nothing? 0, right? 0. So, what makes this 0? Now, the problem I have, and also my calculus students have, we put it in the wrong order. Y is 0, but what's the x? What will make that 0? Positive 7 or negative 7? Right here. What's that point there? What's the x-coordinate? Go ahead, guess. 50-50 chance. What if I put in negative 7 minus 7? Does that give me 0?
Oh, I thought it was 7.
This is what you want to make 0. That's the easy way to do it. It's 7. Now, could I get 7 comma 0? Could I easily put it in the wrong space? I can, so I expect you guys can too. Okay, so we should all be correct. These are all asking for points. No slopes. I didn't ask for that. Now, can you do number 5? Can you do 5? Yeah.
Okay, so my iPad is like, I think when they took it out, it's like,
What's wrong with it? It looks fine.
it's like the others, like this, like how to like,
It rotates.
no, like it's like, this should be like where the volume is, and like the
Well,
volume.
you probably could take it out and put it back in if you don't like the way it is. But I think you can just rotate it.
No, it's like, no,
It's not symmetric?
Case itself.
it's the case,
Looks fine to me.
No, like,
I bet you make this.
I mean the volume? The volume should be
I don't know. I don't have a fancy case like that. Okay, you guys. Okay, guys. Now, if you're given the slope and the y-intercept, do you want y equals mx plus b, or do you want y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1? You guys did learn this last year. You have a credit. You have to go back in your head and remember. I'm trying to help you remember. This is the point, the ordered pair, and I'll change colors here. The green one, if you're not colorblind, is the slope. This is the slope, and they kind of cheat on the ordered pair. They don't say x is 0, but it is. So this is 0 comma b. This ordered pair is what would make this 0? X1 would make this one 0, and Y1 would make that one 0. Oops, forgot the ones. So which form do you want to use? Form 1 or Form 2? You want to do 1. Okay, so what would that be? Y equals, what's the slope? I'll change colors. Because you got to put this number in. What's that number? Read it carefully. 4. And then I have an x plus, and what's the b? Negative 6. And if I know that, I can quickly graph my line. I know it's a line. But, you know, I could just do table of values, too. That's what you have to realize. How about this one? This one's a little bit different. Which form do you want, 1 or 2? You know the slope. M is equal to negative 7. What's the x value here? Maybe this will help. Michael, what's the x value here? Right in this point. X is what? No. Alphabetical. 1, and y is negative 2. Okay, can everybody identify the point? You okay with that? You did it this morning, right? Yeah. So it's y minus, I'll put the things we don't know, the y value, that's that y, equals, it's okay, it slows me down. Oh, guess what you guys have to do? You have to finish this. And it's x minus the x value. And you just put the numbers in. What's the y value you're going to put in here? I got it labeled right there. What is it? -2. What's the slope you're going to put in here? -7. What's the x you're going to put in here? 1. Try this. Now we're a day behind everybody else. And
I didn't really understand that much, though.
we should remember it from last year.
Well, I'm really used to last year, so.
Wait, what should I do about mine?
You're just going to leave your stuff